There are wars fought against armies, there are wars fought against territories, and there are wars fought against the head of a regime. The central question remains this: can killing a regime's leadership bring the regime itself down? Anand Toprani, Jeane Kirkpatrick Fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, and Dillon Prochnicki, research assistant at AEI, address this question in a detailed analysis published in the Jerusalem Strategic Tribune. Here are the key ideas. In 2026, the United States and Israel struck Iran's senior political leadership. The objective was clear: weaken the regime, disrupt command, and perhaps trigger political collapse. But the regime did not fall. The clerical system survived. The Revolutionary Guard Corps remained in power. Iran absorbed the shock. So, does this mean decapitation never works? Not exactly. Toprani and Prochnicki argue that decapitation can disrupt a regime, but it rarely destroys it. To bring a regime down, killing its leaders is not enough. The structure beneath them must already be breaking. History helps explain why. In democracies, power is distributed. Institutions continue to function. Succession mechanisms are tested. When Pericles died during the plague in Athens in 429 BC, the city did not collapse. But its strategy changed. Without Pericles' authority, Athens became more divided, more aggressive, and eventually moved toward disaster. The lesson is clear. In democracies, decapitation may change policy, but it does not usually destroy the system. In authoritarian regimes with strong institutions, the result can be similar. Stalin dominated the Soviet Union. Yet after his death in 1953, the Communist Party, the security services, and the elite structure survived. China, after Mao, also endured difficult transitions because the Communist Party remained strong enough to absorb the shock. The lesson here is equally important. When the party, the army, the security apparatus, and the elites remain committed to survival, one leader's death is not enough. The regime can adapt. The rare exception comes when the leader is the system. Nazi Germany was built around Hitler's personal authority. The army, the SS, the party bureaucracy, and regional leaders all revolved around him. By 1944, Germany was losing the war. Elite confidence was eroding. The regime's foundations were cracking. When Hitler died in April 1945, resistance collapsed almost immediately. But even this case requires caution. The July 20th plot against Hitler was not just an assassination attempt. It was tied to a planned coup. The assassination was the trigger. The coup structure was the mechanism. That is the key point. Decapitation only matters if someone is ready to exploit the opening. Iran understood this. Its system was built to survive leadership strikes. After 2005, the Revolutionary Guards developed the Mosaic Defense Doctrine. In 2008, they reorganized into 31 provincial commands to avoid the collapse of centralized command. Power in Iran is distributed across the IRGC, the regular army, the Bayij, clerical networks, and provincial authorities. The supreme leader is powerful, but he is not the only pillar of the system. Remove one figure, and the institutions can still function. Elite commitment is also strong. The IRGC and the Basij have material and ideological reasons to preserve the regime. Their own survival is tied to its survival. Succession mechanisms also exist through the assembly of experts, even if the balance of power remains uncertain. This is why the 2026 decapitation failed. Iran had engineered resilience. The framework is simple. First, is authority concentrated in one leader or distributed across institutions? Second, are elites loyal to the system or only to the leader? Third, is there a tested succession mechanism? And two additional conditions matter. Is the regime losing an existential war? And is there an internal or external force ready to act immediately? Without these conditions, decapitation may disrupt, it may delay, it may degrade, but it will not deliver regime change. Before targeting the head of a regime, one must understand the body beneath it. If institutions remain loyal, if succession exists, and if elites still see their future inside the system, the regime can absorb the blow. Iran did, and others may as well. So, decapitation is not a strategy by itself. It is only an opening, and without collapse from within, the regime survives.